Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So here I am come back with another video of the same series of Solidity programming series, and in this I'll try to cover a fixed size array. What exactly the term is it and how we can utilize in our code itself. I'll try to get it explain everything about it in this video itself. Okay, so basically just to get it explain the whole video itself, I have prepared three codes for it, three sections for it. Other than that, after the theory part, I'll go to each and every code itself and explain you about it, what is the benefit of it. Okay, sure. So now we'll go with the theory part first. So what is the fixed size array? So the fixed size array are arrays with a predefined and a fixed number of elements. Understand that where we are defining, we know how much is the length of the array is it, accordingly we define it, so that we call it as a fixed array, fixed size array itself. Okay, these arrays have a specific size that is determined at the time of the declaration and cannot be changed during the execution of the contract. So it is defined at the time of defining, but it cannot change at the time of the execution of the contract itself. Okay, the fixed arrays are denoted by specify the size in square brackets when declaring the arrays. Okay, so there are a few conditions for it. Fixed size arrays are useful when you know the exact number of elements you need and you want to enforce a specific size for the array. They are efficient in terms of gas cost because the size is known at the compile time and no dynamic resizing is required. So the statement is bit clear itself. We know the size of the array itself and accordingly we'll try to use it. But if we are not sure about it, how much big is the size of the array itself, and then we're trying to use it, no, that's not a good deal. And the thing is that as we are already aware about the length of the array, then in that case we know that how much cost of the gas is required over there. So the consumption of the gas is required over there itself. That we bit clear about it, which is not feasible in case of dynamic one. Okay, so that's the theory part. Now we'll go to the practical section for it. We'll see the code and accordingly we'll go ahead further with that. So this is the first code, okay, where in my notes, when I'll just publish that, you can get that two sections for it. I'll just provide the output also over there itself. Don't be confused like what exactly. This whole code is divided into two parts in it, in my notes, where this portion is showcased separately and this portion is showcased separately. Okay, so but the thing is that as it's a single portion itself, I will try to explain you in this section only. There's nothing like that I have to go to separate section and try to get explain you in separate zone. Instead of going differently, I'll just have to try to make a single code, try to explain you both the sections for it. Okay, so now we'll proceed further with that. This is a straightforward simple text itself which we have defined as a syntax. Now we define the name of the contract, which is the array. Now over here itself is a most important thing. We have to define the length of the array. So that was the reason we had defined as a 4. The length is 4. It's public, and the array, this is the variable name, and now this is the value we are defining it inside of it. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40 is the actual value inside of the array. Now we define one of the function over there which you got as a setter. We'll try to pass the index and the value. Okay, now what exactly the thing is that this is the thing which we required it as an input. So that was the reason nothing is getting defined. So that was the reason nothing is defined as a state variable. This is the input we are taking it and which we are utilizing instead of the function itself. So we are taking an input, two inputs we are taking it, then we'll try to map that index, like whatever the index we are defining and what exactly the value we are defining it. We just try to map that. Okay, taking example at the time of when I just try to execute that, and then I'll show you that what exactly things you can see that. So then you can able to understand what is the index and what is the value. Index is like where exactly we try to put that as a pointer and the value which we want to define it on this location itself. Okay, so that is one of the thing. Now we'll go to the next section, which is the length. So another function is the length, where we want to return a value of unsigned integer itself. We'll try to return the value over here itself. So whatever the length, we'll just try to calculate the length of the array and then we'll try to return the value, and that is the value we are getting it. Now let me compile this code and I'll try to deploy this code. Once I'll deploy the code, So over here itself, as this is the execution portion, setter1, we'll try to set the value. So what exactly, the 3 is one of the thing. I'll try to set that index, and now the value. So value I'll define it as 999. Let me click on setter. Now if I'll click on the array and I'll try to click mention over here as 3, okay, over 3 itself. So now the array is get it replaced over here itself with 3 itself, as instead of 30 we are using 999. Okay, so the value of indexing 3 itself, it's showing as 999, as we have set it from our side inside of this function. Now if we want to check the length of the whole array, then we have to click down the length and we can see the length of it. Okay, so the length is 4 itself, it's still we have 4. Okay, so now we move to the next code, and in this is the same which we have defined it, only the length of the array is changed now, and we have another value on the 5th location as the index 50. Now we go inside of the function itself. We'll have defined, this is unsigned temp, this is a local variable defined inside of the function. Now inside of the temp we try to define the value itself. So array 3, that is indexing 3, we just try to define the value temp, and temp having the value is 30. Okay, when we try to run it, we'll see that what is the value we are getting it over there itself, we'll see that. Okay, so now I'll proceed it further with that and see what exactly the value I'm supposed to get it. This is the return, this will be getting return itself. We're trying to get it return, as we have defined it in our function, the value should be unsigned value to be get it return. Okay, let me run this code and deploy it. Once we deploy this and I try to run it, so over here itself I'll just define it as 3 array, so I can see the value as 40. And now you will ask me, like, its pointer is 3, so why it's showing as 40? So it's started with 0 1 2 3, so that was the reason it's reached to 3, and it's just mentioned over there itself as this. Okay, so it might be a possibility you will ask me, like, if we talking about the 5 itself, so if I'll just put it as 5, so how much I'm supposed to get it, right? But it will not work like that. If we're talking about the 5, it's a 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, that was the thing. So now if I'll try to check the array, what exactly the value of over here itself we have defined as 3 itself. Let me run it and we'll see that it's 40. Okay, so over here itself, if I'll try to define it 3, we'll just check the value. That's also one of the thing. If we try to check it with that variable to be get it return the value, then also I just able to see that it's 40. Okay, so in both the ways. There is one of more scenarios that I'll just try to comment this section, and let me comment this, and I'll go with the length also. We'll see the length also. Over here I can't use 2 returns at the same time, that was the reason behind it. Let me compile the code once again for you and let me deploy this. And if you try to click on array once again, it's mentioned as 3. Okay, it's 40. If I'll click on the array, now I can able to see the length of it. Okay, the full length which we have seen in over here also, the same thing we can see it over here also. Okay, that is one of the thing. Now we go to the last section for it. In this itself, what actually the things we just try to get it explained over here itself. This is a state variable we are defining over here itself. In the constructor we are defining the value of it, as we can use the constructor just to change the value of the state variable itself. That was the reason we have defined it as 5 and we have defined the value over here itself. Now what exact thing, we'll try to return it. Okay, so we can return this whole array itself. We have defined return unsigned this 5, we have defined it, mentioning that this is array. We are returning array itself. That was the reason we have to define it over here clearly. Over here, what's the length of that? That's a fixed size array. That was the reason we have to define it very clearly. And now we just taking this as ARR, and then whatever the values get it return over here itself. So if I try to run this code for you and let me deploy this, if I'll click on this return array, I can see the whole value over here itself. But but the thing is that this is not the recommended one. The thing is that if you are trying to return the whole array, then in that case you are consuming a lot of gas. That was the reason behind it. Normally in Solidity it will not recommend it to return the whole array. Okay, just for demonstration purpose I have shown you that, but never ever try to return the array, otherwise it will take a lot of gas to be get it consumed over there itself. Okay, so that's all about the stuff which I want to get it covered in this fixed array. I think you can able to understand why we required the fixed array, where we required having a particular requirement is bit clear to us, and we know how many elements is required over there itself. We go with the fixed array itself, fixed size array, and the things to be get it defined, the indexing values, everything we can change it accordingly. These are 3 examples which I just showcase you so that you can able to understand the complete flow of it, how we can utilize that. This is just a simple examples for it. It's bit complex you can utilize when you are actually using inside of the smart contract. There is a different type of things. So these are the different type of things which I just want to cover in this all these video itself. So I think if you like this video, please subscribe my channel. If you have some feedback, please provide your feedback in the comment section of this video itself. And if any other technique which you think like which I just want to showcase in this video, I'll just try to get it included in the same section for it. So thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.